Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Yesterday we took the year 7 LR gods into a Mega Shenron in our prelude to the 2-year video I want to make on both these 7-year units. So today we're taking the year 7 LRs in against LR Mega Shenron, or not LR Mega Shenron, there is an LR Mega Shenron, but we're not facing, I mean actually no, technically we are, with Shadow Dragon and Mega Shenron, to see how they hold up. And if you're wondering why I've built the team like this, it's literally so I can run this guy as a friend, so we can trigger Great 8 power, because losing that link, or not Great 8 power, sorry, Saiyan Raw, losing that link, you miss a ton of extra attack and a bit of defense, and I'm like, I don't want to be losing that, so we're not doing it. We are starting with 204k defense though, which I'm pretty certain, if I'm not mistaken, better than the gods. And of course, one thing they both share, I mean the units are pretty much identical aside from they transform, with the dodge where the SSJ4 Gogeta gets damage reduction. But of course, one of the best things about this unit is turn 1 starting with that guard. Turn 1 where they're most vulnerable, where they haven't started stacking because you've only just started, they are guarding, which I absolutely love. And the fact there's no super attack in slot 1 means there could very well be one in slot 2 or slot 3. There's the double, we love that, double stack. Good damage to start with as well. It could very well mean a super attack is coming our way any second, which that guard is going to help against, which we didn't. I mean, only 111 damage off that normal. But yeah, that's why the team is the way it is. I can't lie, it's not the most, or the most well-constructed team, I'm not gonna lie. I've just pretty much built as good of a team as I possibly could that managed to get the full power SSJ4 GOKU on the team as well, which I can't lie, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's all right. I still wish I managed to pull that guy. Like honestly, from 2023, probably my most wanted unit that I just didn't get. But you know, that's just what happens in Dokkan. We can always pick him up with coins, or if we do summon on Saiyan Day, we might pick him up during our summons, because that's when he is going to come back to global. But we still have a pretty stacked team. I mean, while Piccolo and Golden Frieza aren't on the lead, or on the 200% lead, they're on the 170 lead of both teams, or potentially even the 200% of one, we should still be okay. So in terms of this, I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. I don't think we really have much reason else to change it. Yeah, we're just gonna leave it like this. We're just gonna leave it like this. As I said, we don't really have any reason to do anything different with this rotation. So we're gonna let it play out like this, which is completely fine by me. The only unit that kind of worries me a little bit is Beastless Gohan. The one good thing is he's going to start on a full rotation of Bond of Parent and Child units, which is good, which that does mean he will have his 3-turn guard starting from the 3rd turn. So that means he will have his guard kind of later on to the fight, which actually helps him out. But with mine still being 55% and there being AoEs and there being type disadvantage next phase, it does worry me a little bit. But at least in the final phase, he does have type advantage and he does have a nullify. So there is that. But again, mine is only 55%. We're finally being super attacked. I mean, you can super attack Golden Frieza all you want. He's about to soak all that up. That gold is literally armor. And this is an animation I've not seen in a hot minute. I said this in yesterday's video. This is what leaving the animations on does. I literally don't see these animations since like the first time I used them, and then I just turn it off for link leveling. So it's nice to actually get to see these things. But we can pop his standby already. Crazy. I mean, do we need to? I've actually only ever used this unit, I think, like twice. So I'm actually not fully like 100% certain on like what he fully does. I mean, we could actually stand by him right now, but I don't think I'm going to do that just because we don't really need to do it now. So I think I'm just going to let it carry on as is. I'll give all those Fizz Keys Fizz to Gohan. That's perfect. That rotation was good. Very good. I'd rather use it on the next phase just because here he has type advantage and in slot 1 he's chilling. Big damage. I mean, that does mean we're going to miss out on a stack on the dual SSJ4s. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We do have... Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe not. We're only going to get one extra one, but I'll take that. Every little helps around here, as Tesco or Asda always says. I always get confused which supermarket be saying those. If you're from the UK, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's fine. Or if you're not from the UK... Oh, we do get the double. The pixel of health. The pixel of health left. Dokkan is blessing me right now. They're like, we're going to give you everything. The stars are aligning. So are the orbs. The crit was overkill, but it's okay. It's okay. Right, the AoEs are starting. That's fine. Oh, the AoE is literally in slot 3. That's perfect. That is perfect. Dokkan is actually kind of blessing me right now. Like, this is playing out, like, extremely well for us. Thank you, Dokkan. I mean, you can heal. You're not really healing anything back. Like, your HP doesn't go over what you've already started with. But, you know, do your thing, homie. Do your thing. Hold this. All that sugar from the orange. The Fanta. Get diabetes. At least that easy 8 LR Gohan as well should be kind of chilling with a type advantage as well. Still has guard. So here, he should be fine. We can get a couple supers off with the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta as well, which is going to build up more of the damage reduction. This has started off really well. Like, really well. Why do I feel like the end phase is going to be an absolute pain now? Like, runs don't ever go this smoothly for me. Like, they may start smoothly, they may end smoothly, but the whole run doesn't end up being smooth. Like when you're shaving or trimming, you always miss a little bit. You know, you miss like a tiny patch. That's basically what happens. There's no way this whole run's going to be smooth. Alright, they took a little bit of damage that I didn't expect them to take. It's fine though, it's fine though. We're still okay. We're still okay. We're up to 368k defense with the SSJ4s. They're going to lose a little bit of that once they do transform. I am going to pop the standby now. And this is another animation I've not seen for a hot minute, bro. And I love his OST. I can't hear it right now, but I can literally imagine it in my brain. Love it. Love it. And just like the gods, of course, because they came out in both the 7th anniversary. They came out at the same time, obviously. Just like the gods, the Super Saiyan 4s are 2 years old. Maybe not quite yet on global, but of course we know what's coming. We know what's coming. And we know that... I'm actually going to have to pop a wheeze. We know that, of course, between now and the anniversary, that these guys are still viable. They are still viable. Even on JP, they might be a little less viable. Naturally, that's what happens when a unit ages. They are going to be a little less viable than what they were a year ago and to what they were when they originally came out. And of course, when the Super Saiyan 4s and the gods both came out, they introduced a power creep that I don't think we have ever seen in Dokkan ever. And I'll be quite honest, I don't think we've seen since. Now, do you know what? I am actually going to pop the active skill. Now, the reason why I'm going to pop the active skill early is not only because it looks amazing still, but it's so we can get through this phase a little quicker. Of course, they're going to have type advantage. Goku's going to be doing a ton of damage. And then not only that, so should the GT Goku and SSJ4 Vegeta. So the active skill isn't really needed for the final phase. Gohan will actually do some damage as well. So I think I'd rather use it here to get through this quickly. And that's why I've decided to do that. So we're going to give all of these to you guys, even though I'd much rather gave them to Goku and Oob. But I mean, what can you do? We're still getting the orbs we need to get full power SSJ4 Goku out. And that's another reason why I decided to put the active skill, because of that just annoying pesky healing that he has. We are very much almost dead. And this is why I popped the Whis. Well, one of your actions are going to be disabled because you're going to be stricken with fear. Hold that. Big crit as well. Of course, the additional. I really do hope the action we managed to get rid of was the AoE. That would be great. As Donald Trump says, that would be huge. That'd be very huge. It is. Oh, I love that. Love that. Love that. Oh, that's actually, do you know what? I think that's a really underrated kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, an underrated thing that units have, the whole like disable enemy action. Such a useful thing to have. Okay, we still do have the Whis active. Gohan still has guard. I am going to leave the rotation like this because I do want Beastless to super before the group attack. He's going to need that. We've got our bar full, which does mean we're going to get full power SSJ4 Goku out, which is exactly what we want. The rotation is set. Just like the gods, of course. And it's, again, I said this during the gods video. Even when Broly was the new big boss in the game, you know, while Broly was a little bit on the longer side, especially compared to nowadays, you had to transform them as soon as you as soon as you needed to. As soon as things got a little bit techie, you had to transform them, no matter where they were stacked up to. And that's still the case now. Of course, the only difference is the numbers are a hell of a lot bigger. But the power curve, the power creep, these 2 year 7 units introduced, I don't think there's been a bigger power creep since. I think the only other power creep that could nullify it, be that guy. Okay, you're not being that guy. Rerun it. Okay, we're back here again. Take number 2. We're popping the standby. We're getting that going. I think I'm going to pop this early just to get us through this a bit quicker. And because we managed to disable one of his actions, which, cool, I'm here for. Now, we don't have a lot of health. We do have more defense this time around when we're about to get Gogeta out, which is nice. But I'm a little bit concerned. But I am going to pop the active again, so hopefully we can disable the AoE. Actually, no, not disable the AoE. Disable the AoE off of them supering, not the active. Wrong way round. I think I'm going to do this, actually. Because then I can give all them ink key spheres to these guys, which means we can get a little, not a lot, but a little bit of health back. Gohan does still have his guard. But that's only going to do so much. I mean, last time out, he did actually only die to a super attack, which makes sense. It wasn't the AoEs that were the issue. But that does mean we've lost the disable on potentially the AoE, because of course we moved Gogeta into slot 1. But I think the AoEs we're fine with. With the Whis active and the guard, Gohan should be good. Gogeta's also popping off with the crits though. That's fine, they can do their thing. I think Gohan's okay. He is. Okay, good. And of course, they're okay as well. But honestly, these 2 units being, the 7 years being 2 years old, is crazy because of how runnable they still are. I said this during the gods video, they're still viable. They're still runnable. They still have places on teams. If you're lacking some units, they can still fill in those shoes. They can still fill in those slots. And of course, with the introduction of that full power SSJ4 Goku for the Tanabata celebration, it gave them a new lease of life. Did it make them top 1 unit in the game or anything like that? No, obviously not. It did give the unit a new lease. It did give the unit a new lease. It did kind of bring them back just a little bit. You know, they finally had a good slot 1 unit that could pair up with them to go in slot 2, which of course they never had upon release, which is why I never understood why a lot of people gave them a lot of hate. And said they were so much worse compared to the gods, because they're pretty much the exact same. The only thing that differs, of course, is when they transform, the gods have dodge, which now, I mean, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but now is a lot more useful compared to the damage reduction that, of course, Gogeta gets off per Rainbow Key Sphere. The dodge is a lot more useful because we can dodge in a lot more difficult content now. So yeah, as I said, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but not something we had then, because you couldn't dodge Broly, and he was big bad #1 in the game at the time. But as I said, at the time, that's the only thing that differs their kits. The only thing that made and separated these two units was the fact, of course, that the gods had a slot 1 unit from day 1, being Goku, and of course, what was the big bad enemy in the game? What was the #1 most difficult enemy in the game? Broly. It was a movie boss and a pure Saiyan, which of course, God Goku is the Kryptonite 4. Whereas the Super Saiyan 4s never had support the way the gods did for years, until the release of Full Power SSJ4 Goku, and you can also include the Year 8 GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta as well. But they didn't get the same type of help. Not to mention movie heroes and Power Beyond the Super Saiyan has been buffed to absolute shit compared to GT heroes. But they're in a much better place now. And do you know what? I may have to use a Whis because of Frieza. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. We may have got the full heal, but just because of Frieza. And of course, his damage reduction being long gone. Only 2 Rainbow Key Spheres, which does mean we only get 14% damage reduction. We are getting a Dokkan attack though, which is not something you get too often. If we put Gogeta in slot 1, we potentially could have countered that. Which also, that was a huge buff to them as well. Not only did they finally get a slot 1 unit, not only did they finally get units that could kind of, you know, help around them, but mainly the Full Power SSJ4 Goku. Not only did they get a slot 1 unit, but then that changed to Dokkan that helped out countering units, where they differentiated it between dodge. Rather than it being basically dodge and counter, it was just taken as counter or nullifying counter. It made counter units have a bit more value to them. So not only did they finally get a slot 1 unit, but they also were able to counter units that, or enemies that you typically couldn't dodge. Which of course, that's what their counter came under at one point. So this unit kind of got a new lease of life. Did it make them the new best unit in the game again? No, but it gave them a new lease of life. It gave them a second run. It finally put them back near the level, or on the same level as the gods. It gave them the respect I think they've always deserved. And just like the gods, they are more than holding their own. For a unit that is going to be 2 years old on global, but is 2 years old on JP right now, they are more than holding their own right now. They are more than doing enough. And especially here, they have slight advantage, like literal advantage over the gods, having that type advantage over a Mega Shenron right now, which means they're doing even more damage. So the only thing that makes the gods, I was going to pop the giant form, but I'm not going to because we do still have a Whis. But the only reason why I would slightly, just slightly, value them over the blues. Oh no, sorry, I'd value the blues over SSJ4s. While, even though they are on a more even playing field right now, or a level playing field right now, is #1, teams. The blues, the gods have had so much buff to movie heroes and Power Beyond a Super Saiyan that they don't even have a place on their own team right now. Those categories have had so much support, so much help, so many new units that you don't even need to run them on those categories. Including Easy Ace. That was a lot of damage, Jesus Christ. And there's not only that as well, but dodge. Being able to dodge in the hardest content in the game, of course, is a lot more valuable than, say, a little bit of damage reduction. Don't get me wrong, if you can get like the full 30-35% damage reduction, it adds up, especially once they super attack. But dodge, being able to, of course, dodge a whole, whole attack, whole AoE, or whole super attack, it can save runs. But I do hope they finally have the recognition they've deserved all this time, because they are basically the same unit. Of course, the blues just got way more support than the SSJ4s. But as I said, a unit that is 2 years old, which is still crazy to think because these units do not feel 2 years old. Not only, as I said, are they still viable. Yes, they've aged, but they're still runnable, still viable. It just doesn't feel like it was 2 years ago we were celebrating the 7th anniversary. I even said this in yesterday's video. It doesn't even feel like... Why not? Why not? Why not? Just why not use that? I mean, we're probably going to get it straight away, but why not? But it doesn't even feel like a year ago. It doesn't even feel like a year ago. That sounds crazy to me. That we were celebrating the 8th anniversary. Like, it just doesn't. It does not feel like that was a year ago. Like, it only feels like it was a few months ago. And that's what I'm always saying, man. It honestly feels like Dokkan, like, the last couple years have just merged into one. Yeah, you know we had to skip the giant form. We're not sitting through that. But yeah, honestly, it just feels like at this point, last few years of Dokkan, man, they have just all just merged together into one. Like, half the time I find myself not even remembering when things came out. Like, I think one thing came out last year. No, it came out the year before. Things came out 2 years ago. No, it actually came out just 1 year ago. Things came out 3 years ago instead. Honestly, the last few years of Dokkan just be merging together. Well, that's how far we come, man. We are 9 years into Dokkan, and now finally finding out when the global and JP sync is, which is meant to be by summer, fully synced up by worldwide. It's crazy to think at the 10-year anniversary, we're going to be sharing our first anniversary together between global and JP, which is crazy to think. I wonder what they're going to do for it. We're still curious to see what they're going to do for part 2 of the 9th anniversary. I wonder what they're going to do for the 10th anniversary, considering that's going to be the first shared anniversary we've ever had. Well, honestly, crazy, man. Dokkan has been a crazy ride, a crazy journey. Do you know what? With 343k defense, which don't get me wrong, is not nearly enough. I'm just going to put Gogeta in slot 1. If we get super attacked, we're going to pray they dodge. I mean, if we didn't do this, we're going to win anyway. Just like with the gods. We're going to pray they counter. If not, we should still be okay. Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing, man. Buff out your chest. Hold that. Shit, some fucking giggles. Love that. As I said, a 2-year-old unit that is still viable, still runnable, still got some of the best animations in the game. Love it. And especially the SSJ4's got a resurgence when that full price SSJ4 Goku come out. They're still so good. I still love these units so much. They're still probably my favorite anniversary units to ever drop. Really, we're gonna leave a Mega on a Pixel? He'll clean that up, it's fine. Probably my favorite anniversary units to drop. For me, I think they had to be the most hype, or one of the most hype. That's how sick they were. But there we go. That is them against the Mega Shenron. Don't forget, around about the 2-year anniversary, I'm going to do kind of like a perspective video, like using these units 2 years later and seeing how they do when all that content drops. But don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care of the rest of your day, and post.